doing me yoga and I got blocked. I can't move. I got cramp. But don't just stand there, undo me.
How long you been like that?
Since 4 o'clock.
That means there's no tea ready.
Look at tea ready looking like this.
Well, you could have rolled out there.
Are you going to undo me?
Well, I don't know about that. How much is it worth?
Nothing.
Nothing? Well, all right then. Dim boom, dim boom, dim drive boom, dim boom, drive boom, dim boom, dim drive boom. Hear the word of the Lord. Dim boom, dim boom, dim drive boom.
Harold?
I see the pound is still buoyant on the international exchange. 2.39 and 1632. That's a very good improvement, that is. Dim boom, dim boom, dim There's been a lot of forward buying of the German mark.
I'll give you a quid.
After being out of the Olsen Carl, don't coming out to no tea. 2 quid.
30 bob.
Oh, come now, Father. 30 bob to a man of property. You insult me, Sir Albert.
Yeah.
Practical yoga for the businessman. Well, it's obvious where you done wrong. You forgot to oil yourself. Oh. Yeah, it says here that in India, bloke stays like that for weeks on end, without food or water. It allows the mind to become crystal clear in order for one to reach the highest plane of transcendental meditation. You experienced anything like that?
No, it hurts.
Well, you're not giving it a chance, are you? I mean, you've got to persevere. I think I'll leave you like that for a couple of weeks, make you feel much better.
35 bob.
I'll bet again. I could put you on a little trolley and pull you about. Hold on again. I could leave you outside a tube station with a begging bowl in your hand.
You're potty. You're round and twist. Oh! Pins and needles. 2 quid. You can have your 2 quid.
Where is it?
In my pocket.
Oh, dear. Here, I've got about 20 quid in here.
23.
That is naughty. Very naughty. You are supposed to give up all your earthly possessions when you're being a yoga. You could get jumped out of a yoga's union for that. I don't think you're taking this book seriously.
You got your 2 quid. Undo me.
Oh, let's have a look at you. Oh. He's got one of them little dolls that won't fall over. I think I'll bang you over on the sideboard and coat you with a coat of gold paint. Albert, the great snake god. Oh, great God, Albert, we bring thee here. Oh, do not be angry with us. Oh, send us water for our crop. Oh, the great God is angry with us. He does not like our simple gifts. Oh, we should have brought me a virgin, oh, great one, but we can't find none round here.
You callous little bleeder.
All right. No need to lose your temper. You've got no sense of humour, have you?
Neither would you, if you've been stuck here for 3 hours.
Let's have a look at you. Right, over there. Left and the right. Ooh. Up a dice. European. In the red corner, we have the ABA heavyweight champion, the great winner, Albert Steptoe, the White Panther. At the weigh this morning, Albert Steptoe scaled 5 stone, 3 3/4 ounces, soaking wet.
Give off.
You can do it, champ. Don't worry, you can do it. If you wins this one, you can take off your vest and turn professional.
Leave off. I can rub my own legs. What's the matter with you? What's got into you? You're behaving like a 5-year-old.
I'm happy, that's all. Life has smiled upon me at last.
Oh, gold. Another bird.
No, it's better than that. Business. The winds of change is blowing through the yard. For the past few weeks, we has been becalmed in the doldrums. But now the glass is dropping. We're going to go out in along through the roaring 40s. All sheets to the wind.
You've bought a boat.
I haven't bought a boat, you fool. I've had a tickle.
What do you mean?
Well, while you've been sat here all afternoon contemplating your navel, I have, in the course of business, purchased for the niggardly sum of £7.10 the most exquisite example of the cabinet maker's art that's ever come into this yard.
Eh? Where is it?
Stay, sit. Get your old fine of blood moving around. Ta-da!
Not bad.
Not ahead. Come on, Dad, I paid for it. You can let yourself go. The customer's not here.
Yes, nice. Very nice. What is it?
What is it? It's a commode. It's an early 19th century commode. Oh, that's Regency, but it's not a shadow of a doubt. See, this old bird, she calls me over to the house, takes me into the front room. There it is.
7.5 nicker, eh?
Well, plus a couple of balloons for her gardener's kids.
And she didn't know what it was?
No, she had no idea. She thought it was horrible. She couldn't wait to get rid of it. Said it didn't fit in with her inflatable armchairs. How much do you think this is going to fetch at auction?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to put a reserve of 200 quid on it.
As much as that?
Look at it. And not a mark on it. Beautiful quality.
You sure it's real and not repro?
I can't say not repro. That's dead right. Well, I'm not been going to these GLC antique appreciation evening classes for nothing. And just look at it. Shape of the legs, the finish, all the brass work, and the whole piece screams out its intrinsic quality.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of furniture. What's it for?
What's it for? It's a commode. Look.
There's a Poe in it.
Of course there's a Poe in it. Would you expect a commode to have in a bowler, eh? I mean, that is the whole point of it. That is an integral part of the furnishings. I mean, this is the only sanitation they had in those days. Welburn Abbey, Blenheim Palace, they all had these. That's a very good Poe, that is. That is Crown Derby, that is.
There's no change.
Of course there's no chain, they haven't been invented. I mean, water closets didn't come in until much later. God blimey, we didn't have one till 1935. No, this is all they had in the early 1800s. Even royalty used to use these.
Victoria and Albert.
Well, you couldn't expect them to use a little wooden shed in the backyard of Buckingham Palace, could you?
Well, where did they keep them then?
Well, wherever they was most needed. I mean, sometimes that would be on the landing, or sometimes in the bedroom, and sometimes, if they was having a banquet, they would have them behind a little screen in the dining room. If they was having a conversation and they was caught short halfway through the dinner, they could go behind the screen and nip back in time for the next course. That way they wouldn't miss any of the conversation.
What a way to behave in the dining room. Dirty devils.
Dirty devils. That was Alan Mudd. They were all doing it. Oh, this is an important piece, this is. Look at that. On the side of the Poe. That's another reason why it's so valuable.
What is it?
The Prince of Wales's feathers. That's his crest. Ishii Dean. I'll bet this was his own one. I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't come from the Brighton Pavilion. Oh, yes. Plinny's private privy. Oh, if that Poe could only speak. I've seen some sights, I can tell you. But apart from him, there would have been Bob Vermel, Mrs. Fitzherbert, Nelson, Scarlett Pimpernel. All sat there doing a Times crossword puzzle. Oh, what a prize. I bet some of us have got berserk when they sees this.
200 quid, isn't it amazing? The council gives you 50 quid to get a proper one in these days.
Well, they're giving it us, haven't they? A beauty. Oh, if only we could get a few more items like this, just a bit more often, we could retire.
There's only one thing bothers me.
What?
Well, if it's worth all that much money, it don't seem right only to give us £7.10 for it.
What are you talking about?
Steptoe and Son have always had a reputation for fair prices. That's how we've got such a good name in the business.
And that's why we've got no bleeding money in the bank. It's dog in this world. Do unto others before they do unto you.
Well, I think it's bordering on dishonesty, and I don't like it.
Well, nobody cares what you like. This is mine.
Your turn.
I would appreciate it if you would not use that while I'm gone. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Steptoe.
Yeah,
I believe this is your card. Steptoe and Sons, best prices paid for old antiques.
that is correct. You buying or selling?
You called at my house this morning and bought a Regency commode for my wife.
Did I?
I think you did. £7.10 you paid her for it.
Yes, well, but I did purchase an article of furniture which might or might not be, period.
Well, it is.
Well, that remains to be seen. Is there something wrong?
Yes, there is. I'd like to discuss it with you. May I come in?
Well, yeah, by all means. In there.
Oh, there it is. Thank God you haven't sold it. I'm afraid there's been a mistake. My wife shouldn't have sold you this piece. She didn't know the value of it.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's no concern of mine. She agreed the price.
But you took advantage of her. This is a Regency commode. Once the property of the Prince Regent. It originally came from the Brighton Pavilion. Well, you're an antique dealer. You must have known it was worth more than £7.10.
Well, whether I did or not, it's besides the point. I mean, I'm in business, Mr.
Copeland.
Mr. Copeland. I just backs my judgment. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. This time it has done. I'm sorry, I don't see how I can help you.
This is sharp practice, sir. It's people like you that bring the antique business into disrespect.
There, I told you. Shut up.
Going on the knocker, I believe it's called. Terrorizing old ladies and innocent housewives into parting with their family heirlooms and paying them a pittance for it.
Listen, Mush. You better be careful what you're saying. That's a very serious accusation, that is. I mean, and some of these old ladies, as you call them, they're the biggest con merchants in the world. I mean, bringing out all their Victorian crap and trying to pass it off as Georgian. I've been caught once or twice, I can tell you. I mean, we all have to learn the hard way. You just have to tell your wife to be more careful in the future.
Harold, this is no
Please,
way to...
darling's up here. I'm sorry, Mr. Copeland. Nothing I can do for you.
Look, I must have this piece back.
Certainly. I'm quite prepared to sell it to you.
Sell it to me. I see. Well, I suppose I must offer you a reasonable profit. £15.
Oh, come now. I mean, we all know what the piece is worth.
So, sentiment means nothing to you. Market value, I suppose. Oh, very well. I'll not beat about the bush. I want it back. £150.
Harold, £150.
All right, don't get out of your pram. This is not twice as much as that. He's not doing me no favours.
That's a good price. Now, you put that into an auction, you'll have to pay commission, and you have to take a chance on what it fetches. 150.
Well, to show that I'm a reasonable man, I'll take it.
You take a check?
Certainly. Just write your name and address on it, but...
Not a bad profit for a day's work, is it?
Oh, well, that's the way it goes, isn't it?
I can make arrangements to have the commode collected in the morning.
No need for that. My son will bring it round today.
No, thank you. I prefer to have it handled by experts. Your check, sir. And I warn you, if I hear of you doing anything like this again, I shall report you to the Antique Dealers Association.
If I was a member, I would be quite concerned.
You're a rogue, sir. I'll see myself out.
150 quid! You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
No, don't start that again.
You used to have integrity. You used to be an honest dealer.
I still am. I've done nothing dishonest. I've been very fair. I could have made a lot more than that.
You could have been satisfied with a reasonable profit.
Oh, you do make me laugh. You do. You and your working-class morality. You don't mind these property millionaires making a fortune, do you, eh? You don't mind them buying an acre of land for nothing and selling it for £2 million. No, you admire that.
Oh, he has done well for himself, hasn't he?
Yeah. What about that, eh? Knocking down Georgian houses and sticking up modern blocks of offices. That's all right. You can get a knighthood for that. When a bloke like me has it off for once in his life, oh, no, that's all wrong. That's dishonest.
Yeah, there's no need to cheat people.
What do you mean, cheat people? I paid £7.10 for an article. I sold it for £150. That's 2,000% profit, right? Right. Last week, you bought that suit off that old girl for £5 bob, and you sold it to that Pakistani across the street for a £5. How much profit is there in that?
£4.15.
Oh, no, there isn't. 2,000%, so up you for a start.
That's not the same thing.
Of course, that's the same
No,
thing.
it's not. Everybody was satisfied with my deal. The Pakistani was delighted. First three-piece Sarah's tweed he'd ever worn in his life.
You didn't tell him that +4s had gone out, did you? Poor little sod. I mean, he's just come over it. How's he now we dress? I saw him yesterday. He had +4s right down below his knees and bare legs right down to his sandals. They're not ridiculous.
Well, he only had to buy himself a pair of long stockings. Anyway, Alec Douglas Hume still wears them.
Only when he's out shooting grass, not when he's after a job on the buses. Anyway, that's beside the point. You took advantage of him, so don't get on it. Oh, come on, doubt. At least it takes advantage of people what can afford it, but should know better, because they've had a better education than what I've had. I feel no qualms about my dealings with the bourgeoisie. And if I get the chance, I shall whoop it up them again, right? I'll go. And just keep your nose out of my business. I don't need you to tell me what's right and what's wrong.
Good afternoon. Are you open?
Yeah. We never close. We're a bit like the windmill, really.
Well, my name's De Vere, Antiques.
Rome and Venice.
Yes. I opened out there years ago. That's where the money is. They're buying absolutely everything at the moment, the Italians, as you probably know.
Oh, yes. I've seen them in great profusion down the Portobello Road.
Yes. Well, I ship to Italy by the lorry load. Twice a year I come to England to select my pieces. I always like to take a look round you chaps. Never know what you might have that would interest our roving friends.
Oh, well.
They pay top prices, and they're mad about English furniture at the moment.
Oh, hey? Well, we've got plenty of that. I mean, most of the furniture we've got is English.
Well, perhaps I might have a look round.
Oh, certainly. Please, always a pleasure to do business with the trade. Do come in.
Thank you.
In there. Anything to help the export drive?
Oh, yes. I say, that's rather bizarre.
That's my father. Father, this gentleman is an antique dealer from Rome.
He don't look like a wop.
Oh, come, let's have a decorum, Father. He's not an high-tie. He's English. He's only operating from Rome. This is rather amusing.
No, I don't think so.
I've got a bracket clock, but the bracket's missing.
Good heavens. Well, this is incredible. Well, this is exquisite. Well, this is my wife. Is it for sale?
Yes, no, yes.
Well, this is the finest example of a Regency commode I've ever seen.
It does have a rather pleasing line to it.
I don't believe it. The Prince of Wales' feathers. You realise what that must mean? This was undoubtedly used by the Prince Regent himself. Are you familiar with the commodes in the Brighton Pavilion?
Not personally, no.
But this could quite conceivably be one of them. Remarkable. Remarkable. I'll take it.
You can't have it. It's already sold.
I'll give you £600 for it.
£600.
Certainly. I already have a customer. Sophia Loren will buy it sight unseen.
It's sold.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
If you don't keep your nose out of my festival, you're going to need a full set of gums as well.
You can't sell it. It's against the rules.
I make my own rules.
That's up.
I do beg your pardon. my father's a little bit old-fashioned about these things.
Well, of course, if you have already sold the piece, there's nothing more to be said. I wouldn't want to do anything unethical.
Oh, no. It's quite all above board. It's just a little mistake. I'm sure it can all be sorted out.
Well, I'm very interested in the piece. Perhaps if I call back in 2 days to ascertain if it's for sale?
Oh, it will be. It will be. There'll be no trouble, I assure you. The man I sold it to, he don't really want it, and his wife can't stand the sight of it. I'm sure we can come to some arrangement. Well, I can assure you, I would not be party to anything unethical. I mean, I value my reputation above all else.
As we all do.
Yeah, I'll buy it back off him. I'll give him handsome profit. I'm sure it'll be quite amenable. You can tell Mrs. Loren the commode is as good as hers.
If you can establish sole title for the piece, we have a deal. Please do your best to get it. It's a superb example. If necessary, I might even go higher than 600.
I'll get it. Don't worry, I'll get it. You can keep your mouth shut for a start.
It's still here, is it? I thought Roman Fred was coming back for it yesterday.
Well, he's a very busy man. I mean, he deals with other people besides me. He's got van loads to get yet. Hey, he's probably out scouring the country.
Probably left the country.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if he'd been so keen to buy it, he would have been back, wouldn't he? It's cost you a lot of money so far, hasn't it?
No, not really.
Oh, yes, it has. That first bloke had you by the short and curlies when I came back, didn't he? Him with the tash. 150 quid. 350 you had to give him to get it back, hadn't you?
How did you know that? I thought you were supposed to have left the room in disgust. You was listening at the keyhole, wasn't you?
Couldn't wait to write the cheque, could you?
Well, I was naturally eager to conclude the transaction.
Yeah, and you gave cash, too. You made it out for cash. Dicey, that was.
No, of course not. I mean, he explained all that. But that was to avoid the possibility of capital gains tax.
So that stands you in at £357.10 now.
No, it doesn't. No, I'll bank the first cheque for £150 straight away. I mean, that afternoon. I'm not a fool, you know. At this moment in time, that commode has cost me £217, 10 shillings. As I'm about shortly to sell it to £600, I'm quite satisfied, thank you.
Honestly, you're so dim at times. You really are. You're as thick as a donkey's dongler. You can't see it, can you?
What?
You've been conned.
Conned? Oh, rubbish.
You have. You've been turned over. They've had your trousers down. They're all in it together. Oh, God. The Berger bought it off the so-called husband and the Italian bloke. God, blimey, I have to spell it out for you, don't I? Right, look. They got this commode, see? So they wait for somebody like you to come by, and the woman calls you and have a look at it. She let you have it all for £7.10, and you think you got a bargain, right? Now, the first bloke turns up, the husband, all indignant, shouting the odds that you've got a valuable commode that you've only given £7.10 for. And to prove how valuable it is, he's willing to buy it back off you for 150 quid. Oh, you're well satisfied. Now, they move in for the kill. The second bloke turns up, the antique dealer, the expert. He goes all frothy when he sees it. I must have it, I must have it. So he gets all your juices working away by offering you 600 quid. 4 times what you've already sold it for, providing that you can buy it back off the first bloke. Are you still with me? Right. Now they've got you. You with the little pound size, jumping up and down in your eyeballs. You can't wait for the first bloke to come back to buy it back off him. Greed. That's what they count on. People that want something for nothing. So, first bloke comes back again in the morning. Of course, he don't want to sell. Surprise, surprise. You've got to offer him £350 before he agrees to sell. So, you give him a cash cheque, he nips straight round to the bank, cashes it, and you never see anything of them again. Simple. Like shelling peas. And you fell for it.
I've never heard so much rubbish in all my life. When did you make that up?
Last night, I was doing my yoga, meditating, and it come to me in a flash. I thought, they sent him to the cleaners, I thought, and served the greedy little bleeder right.
It's very clever, but you've overlooked 2 things. I banked the first bloke's cheque for £150, and B, I still have possession of a very valuable Regency commode.
Yeah, and you've overlooked 2 things too. A, I rang up this morning, and that cheque's been bouncing around the bank ever since you put it in. And B, while you was out, I had a bloke round to value that commode.
And?
£7.10. Made this year. He's looked at 14 of them this week. They're doing the district. You've been sucked in, mate, and blown out in bubbles. Yeah, that's right. You've lost £357.10, and serve you right. I've no sympathy. It's your own fault. If you hadn't been so greedy, they'd never been able to work it. Them as lives by the sword.
A fight? But I could have swore it was genuine. I mean, everything points to it. Everything I've been taught.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll help you cut your losses.
What?
Well, I could be doing with that up in my bedroom. Come in handy cold nights. I'll buy it off you.
How much for?
£3.10.
£3.10? He's worth twice that much.
£4.
£6.10.
£4.15, that's my last offer.
What, I'll tell you what. £4.17 and 6 without a po.
What are you going to do with the po?
I'm going to take it down to the Chelsea Antique Appreciation classes and show it to a teacher. He'll be ever so interested. Now I'm going to break it right over the bleeding teacher's head. Good night.